His other hand grips tight to the plugged length of cable. The ledge beneath him breaks off and he finds himself dangling from the clock's hands, the plugged length of cable luckily snagging on his pant leg. The time advances to 10:02. As Marty tries to start the DeLorean, the vehicle's headlights blink on and off. Doc reaches for the dangling end of cable, the end caught on his pants starting to tear the fabric of the hem. He tries again to nab the hanging end, but it just evades his grasp. Studying the pendulous motion of the dangling section, Doc snatches it as it swings toward him. He grips it with both hands, then carefully lowers one hand toward the section caught on his pants. The fabric rips further, the cable end attached by a mere few threads. Gasping, Doc pivots his foot, positioning the plug at the cable's end closer to him. Lifting his foot, he grabs the plug with his free hand. Marty tries the ignition to no avail. The minute hand on the alarm clock advances.
This time, come on.
He pumps the gas pedal. He bashes his head against the steering wheel. His head jolts up. As he floors the accelerator, the DeLorean peels out from the starting line. Holding the two cable sections, Doc gazes into the distance. As he goes to fit one end into the other, it comes up a few inches short. He tries again with no success, then turns to see the fallen tree bough lying across the section tethered to the lamppost. In the DeLorean, Marty shifts gears. Doc jerks on the section tethered to the lamppost, but the fallen tree bough prevents him from gaining more length. A second hard pull causes it to break free from the part tethering it in place. Doc watches the end swinging uselessly against the post. A view focuses on the DeLorean's front tire as it continues on its speed. Marty shifts again, the digital counter reading 61. With a desperate expression, Doc gazes from the disconnected cable in his hand to the clock. Another minute passes. As Marty drives on, the speedometer climbs past 75. Looking up, Doc spies lightning striking above the weather vane mounted atop the clock tower. He peers at the approaching headlights and hooked pole jutting from the DeLorean, then plugs one cable end into another. Marty hits the gas again, wiping sweat from his brow, while Doc loops part of the slack cable over the clock hands and pulls it taut. He steps off the ledge, gripping the cable, and rides it down like a zip line. He falls safely to the ground and works to free the other cable end tangled in the fallen tree bough. As the counter climbs to 88, lights flare beneath the car's chassis. Doc frees the cable. The clock strikes 10:04 and lightning strikes the weather vane atop the tower. Energy travels down the cable as Doc manually joins the disconnected ends together, hurling him to the ground. The car's hooked pole catches on the cable and the vehicle vanishes in a burst of flame, leaving nothing but two fiery trails along the street and some wisps of smoke which Doc sees dissipate. A vestige of flame flares up from the sections of cable strung up over the street. Doc gets to his feet, an awestruck expression on his face. He turns to see another small fire burning like a torch at the top of one lamppost. Stumbling out into the street, he runs between the fiery trails, one hand raised as he dances in a jubilant circle. He turns back around and casts his gleeful gaze up at the courthouse. The view lingers on the clock face stuck at 10:04. Signage below the Stone Panthers now reads Department of Social Services.